5 years ago, billionaire Daniel Harrington buried his only daughter, or at least that's what he was told. Every year, he visited her grave, blaming himself for not being there when she died. But one cold morning, a poor black boy stepped forward and said something that changed everything. "Your daughter isn't dead. Your wife lied to you." At first, Daniel thought it was cruel nonsense, but the boy insisted he had seen the little girl alive. What Daniel discovered next shattered his world. His own wife had faked their daughter's death, paid people to hide her, and lied for years, all to protect her control over his fortune. His daughter had been living in poverty, believing her father abandoned her, and it took the courage of one brave boy to bring the truth to light, a story about lies, power, betrayal, and the unstoppable power of truth. "Stop crying for someone who isn't dead." Those were the words that froze billionaire Daniel Harrington in place. The cemetery was silent, except for the wind brushing against the tall trees. Daniel knelt before a small white gravestone, Sophia Harrington, beloved daughter. Gone too soon. 5 years ago, he had buried his 6-year-old daughter after what his wife claimed was a tragic hospital infection. Daniel had blamed himself every single day since then. He was one of the most powerful men in the country, owner of Harrington Tech Industries, yet he couldn't save his own child. Tears rolled down his face as he pressed his hand against the cold stone. And then, "Sir, your daughter isn't dead?" Daniel turned sharply. Behind him stood a thin black boy, around 10 years old. His clothes were worn, his shoes were dusty, but his eyes were steady. "What did you just say?" Daniel's voice trembled. The boy stepped closer. "It's your wife who lied to you." For a moment, Daniel felt anger rise inside him. "Do you have any idea what you're saying?" he snapped. But the boy didn't flinch. "My name is Elijah," he said softly. "And I know where your daughter is." Daniel wanted to walk away. This had to be some cruel prank, but something about the boy's calm voice stopped him. How would? "You know anything about my daughter?" Daniel demanded. Elijah looked toward the gravestone. "Because I've seen her." Daniel's heart pounded. "That's impossible." "She's alive," Elijah said, "and she lives near my neighborhood." Daniel grabbed the boy's shoulders. "Don't lie to me." "I'm not," Elijah replied. "She calls herself Sophie. She says her father is a powerful man who doesn't know she's alive." Daniel felt the ground beneath him shift. His wife, Victoria, had handled everything at the hospital 5 years ago. She had told him their daughter didn't survive the infection. He was overseas closing a billion-dollar deal when Sophia died. He never saw the body. He never questioned it until now. "Take me to her," Daniel whispered. Elijah led Daniel to the poorest part of the city, broken sidewalks, faded buildings, struggling families. Daniel had never stepped foot in this area before. They stopped outside a small rental house. "That's where she lives," Elijah said. Daniel's heart was racing. Through the window, he saw a little girl sitting at a wooden table, drawing. She had the same curly brown hair, the same small birthmark on her wrist. Daniel's knees almost gave out. It was her, his daughter, alive. He slowly knocked on the door. A woman opened it. "Not Victoria? Can I help you?" she asked cautiously. Daniel could barely speak. The girl inside, "What's her name?" "Sophie," the woman answered. Daniel stepped inside. The girl looked up. Their eyes met, and in that instant, he knew. "Daddy," she whispered. Daniel broke down. 5 years of grief exploded into tears. He held her tightly as she cried into his chest. Later that night, the truth came out. The woman explained everything. 5 years ago, Victoria had secretly paid her to take the child. Victoria claimed Daniel was too busy for a daughter and that she would handle everything. She forged medical documents. She bribed hospital staff. She told Daniel the child had died. Why? Because Victoria wanted full control of Daniel's wealth and inheritance. If Sophia lived, she would inherit everything. If she was dead, Victoria would gain more power. Daniel felt sick. He had trusted his wife completely. Meanwhile, his daughter grew up believing her father had abandoned her. Elijah spoke quietly from the corner. "My mom works here. She told me the truth by accident. When I saw you at the cemetery today, I knew I had to tell you." Daniel looked at the brave young boy. "You saved my daughter," he said. The next weeks were explosive. Daniel hired the best investigators and lawyers in the country. The truth came out publicly. Victoria was arrested for fraud, child trafficking, and falsifying death records. The media was shocked. The billionaire who mourned his daughter for 5 years had been living a lie. But Daniel didn't care about headlines anymore. He cared about one thing, Sophia. He moved her into his home, but more. Importantly, he moved into her world. He reduced his work hours. He attended her school events. He read her bedtime stories. And he never missed another moment. As for Elijah, Daniel funded his education, bought his family a safe home, not as charity, but as gratitude. One evening, Sophia looked up at Daniel and asked, "Daddy, why did Mommy lie?" Daniel took a deep breath. "Because sometimes people choose money over love," he said softly. "But we choose love." The camera slowly fades as Daniel holds his daughter's hand. A family once broken by lies, rebuilt by truth. Sometimes the truth comes from the most unexpected voice. A poor boy changed a billionaire's life. Never ignore small voices because they might be carrying the biggest truth. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories.